What happens if you invest $100 a month? For some people, that number feels small, almost insignificant. You might be thinking, what difference could that possibly make? Or maybe, is this even worth the effort? Those are fair questions. And they're questions a lot of people ask before they even begin investing. The truth is, most people don't avoid investing because they don't understand money. They avoid it because they think they don't have enough money. There's this quiet belief that investing is something you do later, when you make more, when life feels more stable. But for most people, that moment never arrives. Most long-term investors didn't start big. They started small, often smaller than they wanted to. What made the difference wasn't the amount they invested. It was the decision to start and to keep going. Consistency changes how money behaves over time. Investing $100 once doesn't do much. But investing $100 every month does create momentum. Let's walk through a simple example. Nothing complicated, no advanced math. Imagine you invest $100 every month. Not when the market looks good, not when headlines feel optimistic. You take a long-term approach, and you don't try to time the market. You just keep investing. After 1 year, you've invested $1,200. That alone puts you ahead of many people, not because they couldn't invest, but because they never started. After 5 years, you've invested $6,000. That money didn't disappear on impulse spending. It stayed invested, quietly working in the background. After 10 years, you've invested $12,000. And this is where people often underestimate what's happening. Because now, it's no longer just about what you put in. It's about how long your money has had to grow. Time is one of the most powerful forces in investing. Not excitement, not predictions. When money stays invested, it has the opportunity to compound. At first, progress feels slow, almost boring. Early on, most of the growth comes from your contributions. But over time, your money starts doing more of the work. Small, steady contributions don't look impressive month to month. But given enough time, they can turn into something meaningful. Not because you invested aggressively, but because you stayed consistent. This is why long-term investing feels underwhelmingly early and impressive later. At this point, many beginners start to feel uncomfortable. They think about risk. They ask, what if I start investing and the market drops? Or, what if I lose money right away? These concerns are normal. No one likes watching their money fluctuate. Here's something that surprises many beginners. For long-term investors, market drops aren't always bad. When prices fall, your monthly investment buys more shares. You're buying at lower prices. If you stay consistent, those periods can actually help your long-term results. This approach isn't about getting rich quickly. It's about building a system that works quietly in the background. A system that doesn't require perfect timing or constant attention, just steady progress. Over time, you start thinking differently about money. You stop asking, "Can I afford this?" and start asking, "Is this worth delaying my future for?" There's an emotional benefit to starting small. $100 a month feels manageable. Because it feels manageable, you're more likely to stick with it. And sticking with it is what matters most. Many people fail at investing not because of bad choices, but because they stop too soon. Consistency beats intensity. Investing $100 a month doesn't feel dramatic, but over time, it builds momentum. It builds discipline. It builds confidence. You're not trying to predict the future. You're preparing for it. In the next video, we'll talk about where beginners should actually invest. If this helped you think differently about investing, consider subscribing to Safe Start Investing. And remember, starting matters more than starting perfectly.